Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. Consider our ILF Master Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live podcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derek Forston, and I'm super excited, just like every Monday at 6 p.m. So again, thank y'all so much for being here. Regardless of where you're tuning in from, we appreciate it. We always like to say that you guys have a lot of choices of where you could be on these internet streets, but the fact that you chose to be here with us, we super appreciate that. So big shout out to my Instagram folks, Clubhouse folks, anywhere where you guys are streaming us from, where you just can hear us. But by all means, if you want to see kind of what we're doing, definitely join us on YouTube at Forston Consultants. And if you're already here and if you haven't subscribed by now, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, go ahead and share it with somebody that loves God, loves people, and loves real estate. So we always tell people, man, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the absolute place for you to be. Because every Monday, I spend my time showing you guys how we do this, right? How do we start something that's similar to a group home, but it's actually not a group home, right? We hate that term. Group home usually has a stigma that's kind of sort of associated with it. So we coined the phrase that's called independent living facilities. So again, that's an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So again, if you've ever dreamed of starting your own housing program and you thought you was going to start a group home, you're not. You're going to start something that's called a shared living environment, or co-living, shared living, or again, independent living facilities. And that's kind of what we personally trademarked it to be. So again, I just want to tell everybody again, welcome. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. And we thrive off of questions. So if you have questions, man, definitely let us know. Type it into the chat. I made a promise to God many years ago. I said, God, if you allow me to get into this, I promise I'll come back and teach it to the world, and I'll never take credit. So every Monday I'm here. That's exactly what I do. But I'm super excited also about our June event. So as you guys can see on the screen, 2024, our ILF Independent Living Facility Conference is absolutely in Orlando, Florida this year. And we're excited about that because, again, we're going to take you guys from idea to implementation. So a lot of you guys have had the idea, right, to start a housing program or to start what you thought was a group home, right, or an assisted living facility. We just show you guys the cheat code in terms of how to get into something like this, but also making it faster, right? A group home takes a lot of time to get into. What you guys see on this screen right here in terms of this shared housing environment, this co-living arrangement, this doesn't require a license, right? And at that point, you should start clapping and almost shouting right there in your living room, because most people is what stops them from getting in something like this. They believe they have to have a license. So again, at this conference, guys, in June, my job is to break it down to you all, but also bring the people to the conference that can also shed light on this. It's great to hear me talk about this over and over and over again. But how great is it, Tiffany, that I can bring people to you guys that also talk about how should you approach them? What is the appropriate way to approach them about housing? What should you say? What should you not say? Right? How should you present your housing program? So again, instead of me just talking about it, I'm literally going to be bringing a lot of those people to you guys. And again, that's in Orlando, Florida, June 21st and 22nd. And I'm super excited about it because, again, this is the time where we all kind of get together, right? So you guys have been asking for a while, when are we going to get together in person? We're doing that in June. And we want to make sure for a lot of you moms that have children that school was out. So I'm hearing that a lot of people are going to proms this week and graduations coming up in 2 or 3 weeks. So we want to make sure that everything with your children were kind of, done and out of the way, so that you didn't have to try to juggle things. So again, the event is on a Friday and a Saturday. And again, the whole slogan for the event is from idea to implementation. And again, our job is to equip you with invaluable insights in terms of not only how to do this, but how do we get the property? How do we put all the pieces together? Who do you need? Right? Because I truly believe that this thing that we do that's called ILFs, it's kind of a team, right? And on that team, we play the housing provider. But also a part of that team is a psychiatrist, it's a nurse, it's a doctor, it's a case manager, it's a social worker. And what we want to show you guys is that we don't want you to be all of that, right? We want you to play your role in terms of what you do. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with the game of basketball, but with the game of basketball, there's 5 players on a team that's on the court at any given time. And then the other teams got their 5 players. One of the positions is called a point guard. A point guard usually runs the entire offense. They play their role, right? And everybody else works together to make that team. That's very similar to what this ILF is, guys. We're kind of like the point guard. We take care of the housing. We let the social worker social work. We let the case manager case manage. And the case manage kind of serves as a ticket or as a compass to their life in terms of which direction are they headed, right? Um, and also again, we're going to allow everybody else to play their role, and I'm going to play the role of the housing. Because guess what? The psychiatrist is really not worried about housing. Guess what? The social worker can't do? House him. Guess what? The case manager cannot do without me and without you all. And notice I'm wearing my shirt today like I always am, because I always believe in walking and being a walking billboard. Right, Miss Rita? Good to see you, Miss Rita, with your branded t-shirt on Sunday, right? So people are starting to know what you do and who you are. Neonta, big shout out to you and your husband. You guys purchased y'all ticket already, so I'm excited about that. The other couple that purchased their ticket is Rita and Ken. So I love it that these married couples are coming, right? Because I truly believe that this is a ministry. And what better to do this with than your spouse, your partner, or your family? So if you're not married, but you're doing it with your family or your spouse or your business partner, again, I just love it when people come together to kind of make this thing happen. So again, at this event, we have a general admission ticket for $397. We also have a VIP ticket. And again, we're going to be showing you guys the Forston Consultants model in terms of which is the right way to do this. How do you do this without a license? How do you do this without having to go and call your government agencies and entities? How do you do this without trying to pretend to be a nurse like Neonta? Neonta is actually a nurse, an ER nurse, actually, at that, with multiple years of experience. I'm not asking any of you all to go and get Neonta's skill set to be a nurse, a RN, right? He's a RN, right? I'm not even asking you guys to be a CNA. I'm not asking you guys to be a LPN or any of that. But do you have a heart for people? Do you love God? And are you trying to get into real estate? Because essentially, ladies and gentlemen, that's what this is, right? So I tell people oftentimes that this is literally real estate, social services, and the love of God and a love for people all wrapped up into one. This is not your general group home. This is not your general housing program where somebody just rents rooms. We believe that if you're going to be in this, especially under the model in which we teach it, we want you to love God, love people, and love real estate, and then just merge them all together. Because if you love God, you're naturally going to have a heart for people. You're probably going to have a little bit of patience, because if you don't have these above things that I'm mentioning, this may not work for you. Neonta, I tell people all the time, if you don't have a little bit of patience, if you don't generally just love people, if you don't like to see people do good, like this may not be for you. And I'll introduce you to something else that's like Airbnb or travel nurses, or guys, there's all kind of ways to house people, but we house a specific population of people that your heart got to be in it. And again, because I used to be the social worker, right? Working 9 to 5, and I worked in a mental health hospital. That's kind of where my love started at. So the guy that's got schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, schizoaffective disorder, all of these mental health disorder, depression, this is kind of where the root of what I love to serve. These are the kind of people that a lot of times that the society are turn their heads to these kind of people. We like to focus on these folks because just like everybody else, they need a place to live too. So you ever heard anybody say, Tiffany, you need to find your niche? Some people call it niche. That's literally what this is, guys. I'm in a form of real estate. Tiffany, no different from you. But Tiffany, before you met me, you was in a genre of real estate where you house families. And there is nothing wrong with that because so do I. Sharing our own property now in Orlando, but also Georgia, where we do house women and children. And we do say, I love Section 8, all of that stuff. But in this housing model, we take one asset and we rent to multiple people. And that's just simply how it works, right? Some of the rooms may look like this with that one bed in it. And that's what we want to break down to you all June 21st and 22nd. How do we make all of this come together? Who do you offer this private room to? What does the phone call sound like? Who's going to want and tolerate the 2 people per room? One of the probably top 10 questions we get all the time, Derek, what kind of people you written to, bro, that want to share a room? You guys would be amazed, actually. There's a lot of people that can't afford this private room with that one bed in it. A lot of people can't afford their own apartment. Neonta, they can't afford their own house. Rita, you and Ken are blessed to be able to drive home every night and sleep in your own house. I'm housing, and Rita, now you and Ken are going to be housing people that dream of having their own house, their own apartment. But Rita, guess where it's going to start from? It's probably going to start from something like this. In fact, one of the people that I'm trying to bring, guys, and I'm not going to promise it, but one of the people that I'm trying to bring to this event, Katara, is somebody that we actually housed for a long time. He went from this model, he went to this model with the private room, and now, guys, he's got his own apartment. So guess what we call that, guys? He graduated. So the goal of my program, Mr. Ken, these guys can stay as long as they like, or they can graduate from me, Ken, and they can use me as a stepping stone. That phrase is so familiar. We've probably launched over 3 or 4 people that chose the name Stepping Stones LLC. So if you come under my coaching, don't choose stepping stones. Be more creative. But essentially, watch this. I house people that I've had from day one, Rita, Mr. Lewis, and I got people that I've housed only for 2 weeks so they can get on their feet and go get their own apartment. So here at Second Chance Housing, guys, I don't discriminate how long you need to stay with me. Now, I recommend everybody stay at least 90 days. You need 90 days to be able to get your head clear and to figure things out in terms of where you're going. What's your next plan? And use us as a stepping stone to do that. But if not, I got people that'll never leave me because there is no plan B. There is no mom and dad. There is no sister and brother. So what you guys are seeing on this screen is this is what they want. And again, at June 21st and 22nd, this is what we're going to be teaching you all. Y'all can come in at that VIP ticket, the general admission, or that elite ticket. The general ticket is a one-day event where you can get all the game. Probably over 8, 9, 10 hours of just straight content. No fluff. Great speakers, great skill sets in real estate that we're bringing. You're also going to get a luxurious culinary experience. Notice how I said that and not just lunch. You got to get a plated lunch. I've been to tons of conferences, guys, where they give you a box lunch with that cold cut sandwich. And I'll admit, you be so hungry by the time you get it, that cold cut sandwich is actually good too. But we giving y'all a plated lunch. Y'all are actually going to choose what you want. I don't want to get too far ahead of the game, but I think it's chicken, fish, or beef, right? Steak.
That's correct.
Or chicken. I could be wrong, but share.
No, you're right. You're right.
Not a box lunch where we're going to give you guys a cold cut sandwich and a Capri Sun and then expect for you to be there for 10 hours while your stomach growling. One of the things that we're most known for is our food, actually. So you can ask anybody that's ever been to any of our events. They brag just as much about the content and the knowledge and understanding than they do about the food and the cheesecake. So we believe in giving you guys a 5-star experience. We don't shortcut anything. And then the networking opportunities are going to be irresistible. Prime example, Miss Rita, who's on this call right now, literally because she came to our open house, she moved at the speed of instruction. That's how she met the gentleman, the property manager, of how she got her first property to run her first independent living facility, guys. Rita is not offering what you see on screen right now because of relationship, not because of real estate. She met the relationship first, and the relationship followed. Rita, wave at me, you and Ken, if you're in here, if I'm telling the truth. And call me a liar, Ken, if I'm lying. You guys made this possible because of relationship and the proximity of being close to us. And that's what this event does, guys, in June. And the general ticket, you get all of that for only $397. That VIP ticket, you said, Derek, I want to hang out with you guys for 2 days. Derek, I want that 2-day event. Derek, I want to tour your independent living facility. And Derek, I want to not only tour it, but Derek, I want to do some client interaction. Derek, can I talk to your clients? Absolutely. And I'll admit, guys, we've never done this. That's why the VIP ticket is such a treat, the VIP and the elite, because you guys get the tour. You get a swag bag with a bunch of goodies that we're going to throw inside of it that you're going to need at the conference, before the conference, and after the conference. Guarantee you that. You're also going to have a private meet and greet with the speakers. You know how most events you kind of go to and they sweep all the speakers away? First of all, even the general admission ticket, we're giving you all a panel discussion. So even the general admission ticket, all the speakers together, we still gonna do a panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen, because I hope y'all come with 1,000 questions. Even with the information we're going to give you, I still hope you come with 1,000 questions. In fact, part of the thing that we'll be doing is when you guys buy your ticket and the closer it gets to the event, we're going to ask you, what do you want to leave this event knowing? Some people just throw an event and just give y'all what they got. Not only are we going to do that, but I'm also going to ask you guys, what do you want to leave this event with the knowledge of? Because that's, to me, what a successful event is. I've been to a lot of events, y'all, and I'll admit, just to be real with you, the ones that were really good was the ones that not only invited you to come, but the ones that said, hey, Derek, when you do come, what you want to leave here with? What do you want to make sure you know and you understand? So that way the speakers can tie that into their conversations with you. That's what makes a successful conference, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just get that as a cheat code. You ask the people what did they want to leave with. And guess what? The price don't change because of that. So again, the $697 ticket, what I'm most excited about it is that tour and the meet and greet with the speakers after the fact. Because sometimes people don't want to ask their general questions kind of out loud in front of everybody. They rather it be more in that intimate setting. That's what we're doing with that $697 crew. And then for the elite ticket, what I love about this one is that if you're married, your partner actually comes for free. So again, if you're married, your spouse comes for absolutely free with the elite ticket. There's also a dinner at a different location at a swanky restaurant that you're going to be able to have with me, the Forston Consultants team, and some few people that I won't even announce. But that dinner, and you guys get a different kind of a tour, and Shay's doing something different at the real estate property that we bought, and a lot of surprises. But the biggest part about the elite ticket, you get everything in the general and the VIP, but you also get that exclusive dinner. We was going to call it a seat at the table, but that's just an exclusive dinner with Shay, myself, the Forston Consultants team, and that's on Saturday night at an exclusive location that you guys get the dates for in a separate email after booking. Professional photos and all of that stuff. And I'm probably second most excited about the post-day event. So I'm going to let you guys choose it, but I'm going to give you guys a one-day masterclass about anything that we learned at the event that you want to go deeper into. So the elite ticket will get a separate masterclass. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a virtual event. So again, no matter where you live at, we're going to make sure that you make it. And this is in Orlando, Florida, guys, at Hotel Landy. They just went through a $24 million renovation. So I'm also telling people, make a vacation out of it, right? It's time. It's going to be time around that time, Katara, where you need a vacation anyway, right? So if you're joining us, come to Orlando, Florida, take a vacation, renew your mind, renew your spirit, come learn something that can change your life, your family's life, and the lives of other people. And also come and meet the Forston Consultants family, including Mom Forston, ladies and gentlemen. So again, man, if you guys got any questions, let us know. The newest thing to all of this is that elite ticket, you're allowed to bring your spouse at no extra charge. Your spouse is involved in that. I spoke to two ladies this week, one this week and one last week, and they both stated that they want their husbands to come. They don't kind of get it, but the women are sold out. So my team came up with this genius idea that way you can have a better chance of including your spouse. Your spouse is for free. So the way you sell it to him is, baby, he told me that if we get the elite ticket, you just come anyway and you're a part of it. And we're going to get the tour. So that's the way you ladies can sell the ticket in terms, or you women, men or women, however it goes, right? However you guys flip it. But if you need to sell that elite ticket to your spouse, let them know that if you guys get elite, that includes both of you all. And that's only for married couples, not engaged, not your boo, not the lady you met 3 weekends ago at the movie theater. But if you guys are married, we're going to absolutely allow you guys to come together. And again, guys, it's steps away from Universal Studios. So again, make a vacation of it, right? Rekindle your love, rekindle your relationship, rekindle your business, but also come and learn the skill set, man, that can change the lives of somebody. Let's take a break, guys, and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So great information, Derek.
All
This
right,
has
all right.
been
Had to
a
go grab me a
great
water.
opportunity. I know I saw you disappear, but
Yeah, I had to go grab me a water real quick.
I wanted to say something real quick, Derek, about the event that I'm looking
Can you introduce
forward.
yourself first for all the
Oh,
people
I'm
that can't
sorry,
see you?
right? Disrespectful. This is Shay Forston, the president and the founder and president of the Angela Denise Foundation, and that is here in Orlando, Florida, where we utilize the ILF. We use the ILF model to house women that have been through domestic violence, human and sex trafficking, and those that are just suffering with chronic homelessness due to mental health disorders. But I wanted to share with you all the thing that has me very excited or most excited about this event is the fact that we get to bring like-minded individuals into one space, one room, and not only talk about how to take an idea from idea to implementation, but how others have already done so. I think what happens is a lot of time people get caught up in the knowing that they have this idea that they want to implement and they get stuck because they're surrounded by a lot of naysayers, Derek. People that don't believe it can happen, people that don't understand the process, people that don't that really just don't understand the overall how it works, literally how it works, how you get paid, all of that information that is imperative to running an independent living facility. So I'm just ready to see a whole bunch of like minds get together and combat the naysayers by telling them it is possible and by showing them, Derek, on that second day how it is possible and how we've been successfully implementing and doing so. So that's what I'm excited for, and I hope everybody's excited. If you have not already received your tickets or purchased your tickets, you better go ahead and get those tickets. This is going to be an event that so many people, like all of our events, they walk away feeling really encouraged and ready to get out there and do something greater than themselves. So I look forward to seeing you all on June the 21st and 22nd here in Orlando, Florida. As Derek always say, don't meet me there, beat me there. I want y'all to get there before us. Get your rooms. There's a room block there for you all where you can be at the same place of the event and not have to worry about travel. But literally, you're in the heart of everything, and we look forward to seeing you in person in June. I'm done, Derek. Back to you.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. So thank you so much, Shay. I appreciate that. And Shay's off camera, guys. So just in case if you missed it when she started speaking, she's off camera tonight. But again, guys, if you have any questions or concerns about the event, let us know. We're here to answer any questions. But also, I'm here to teach just like any other night. So again, thank y'all for being here. But if you're new to us, let me know in 2 ways. Type in the chat that if you're new, just type the word new. But also, I have a gift for you, a free gift. So I also want you to text the word new to 407 326 0086. And I just put that in the chat as well. If you're new to us, let me know in 2 ways because I love to honor new people and I want to make sure that you understand what we're talking about. I'm so used to just speaking to a lot of family members here. And what I call family, just people that are just always here, people that understand the concept. So if you're new to us, I want to make sure that I absolutely respect you and the fact that you're here. And I don't want you to be lost, because if we just start talking in the middle of something and you don't know kind of who we are and what we do, I want to make sure that we honor that. But also, I'm going to still say it for people that watch the replays, right? We get a lot of people that play the replays versus that come live. So again, if you're just joining us, my name is Derek Forston. I'm the owner and operator of Second Chance Housing. That's my personal independent living facility. And that's where we take people from homeless to hopeful. These are not group homes. These are not assisted living facilities. This is not a housing program where you need a license. So every time you've ever heard of somebody that wanted to start a program and there was a license attached to it, throw that out the window, because that's not what we do. We do independent living facilities. Some people call it co-living. Some people call it shared living. The main goal is that this does not require a license. You don't have to own the property. And again, we take people from homeless to hopeful, and the inside looks like this. So again, we don't need a license to do this. This is what stops most people's dreams of even getting into it. And again, I don't see any news in the chat yet. So Shay, if I'm missing it, you let me know. So if we're all family, I can just kind of keep going. But if you're new, I want to make sure I honor you with making sure that you understand it. But again, you don't need a license to do this, guys. And I'll never forget the day that it was kind of unraveled to me that I didn't need the license. Like, that was like, woo, right? A no-brainer. So again, and that's kind of, again, what we're going to be doing in June is kind of taking the idea from idea to implementation. And again, instead of just talking about it all the time, I'm bringing the people and the pieces to the puzzle to make it come together. It's kind of like me showing you that picture of the puzzle on the outside of that box, but never giving you the pieces to put it together, right? It's kind of like saying, hey, here's the puzzle. The pieces aren't in it, but this is what it looked like. Can you put it together? Well, Derek, you didn't give me the pieces to the puzzle. So that's what we're doing June. If you can think of it in that aspect, I'm bringing the pieces to the puzzle. And guys, I'm making the pieces so large, this won't be a 1,000-piece puzzle. This is going to be like those kindergarten puzzles, where the really big pieces, and it's going to be easily put together, and it's going to be easily to understand. Because one thing that I try to make sure that I do a pretty good job of, and if I don't, y'all tell me, I try to make sure that I make things really understandable, really simple. I try not to overcomplicate things. Prime example, again, you can go out and rent or lease a house. Does everybody understand that concept? And then you can combine or work with or network with or reach out to social workers and case managers and tell them that you offer what you're looking at on screen. I posted this all over social media in terms of just, what do I offer? I offer independent living for independent adults who can cook their own bologna sandwich, who can provide their own transportation, and who can take their own medications without the need for a nurse or medical oversight. Guys, that's pretty understandable, right? And then I just tell people the intricate parts of it you're going to get during the coaching. Because again, to be honest with you, it's not rocket science to go out and rent a house and connect with social workers. The rocket science comes down to when you're dealing with the people. How do you manage several people in one location at one house and one environment? How do you choose and pick the right people? That's going to be a big topic at that event. When that social worker calls me, Neonta, do I have to take that guy? Because Qatar, if he's a knucklehead, why would I want him in my program? Miss Mary, why would I want the knucklehead? Some people think that when the social worker called, they have to take the client. I had a strategy call with a guy this week. He started this before he found us, and he was under the impression he was so pressured and he was so stressed. He said, Derek, just got into it, man. And I guess however they explained it to him, they told him, hey, man, whenever we call you, you got to take this guy. You got to take this lady. And guys, we don't do business like that. As much as we would love to house everybody that called our phone, our first job is to make this thing safe. So we got to do an assessment. An assessment at Forston Consultants just simply means a series of questions that I'm going to ask that's going to allow me to make a sound decision about who we bring into our program. Because guys, remember, we're housing multiple people at this location. So in these 2 beds, if I'm housing Brad and Jose, Jose can't be a clown. Jose can't be a troublemaker. Jose can't be a guy that like to use drugs and alcohol and like to bring prostitutes inside of the house. That's going to mess up the other guy. And remember, I'm trying to change the lives of these people. So how dare I bring in a knucklehead? So the coaching is going to teach you, who do we choose? Why do we choose them? What questions are we asking the social worker? See, guys, I role play this so much to myself on these calls that it's almost like baloney now. And I'm excited for June because I'm bringing to you in June. What does it sound like? At this June conference, guys, I'm bringing the social worker to you. I'm going to bring the case manager. In fact, one of the social workers actually committed today. She signed her paperwork. She sent her bio. She may be on this call, actually. And now that she's a speaker, I'm never going to even say her name again. You'll just meet her there. You've probably heard me call her Miss D. She sent her bio in and her picture. And guys, she's in a lead role. So she's just not the social worker like I was. Guys, I was just a social worker / case manager. This lady I'm bringing, she was like my boss. No different that if I would have brought my boss, I'll just call her Miss LC right now because that's her initials. I don't want to say her name out loud either. But that's no different from me bringing my boss to you guys. This lady is in a managerial role, and I'm going to bring her to tell you why are you guys needed? Why do we need independent living facilities, Troy? Talk to Troy today, man, in the drive-thru of a Popeyes. What's going on, Troy? Troy out there in Atlanta getting ready to start one. Just found out Troy's got a duplex, man, a 4-3 on both sides. And remember my coaching. I don't want to see you in a duplex if you only are on the left side. Troy owned the whole building, so no problem. Can y'all imagine how many people he can take from homeless to hopeful in a 4-3 and it's on both sides? Because in my opinion, and we ain't even got the Troy coaching yet, but Troy, you got an option not even to do 2 per room, bro. You can do 1 person per room. And we're going to call those private suites or that private room. Because most of the time, they're going to be 2 people per room, just like this. But with you having a 4-3 on both sides, that's 8 people. Singular. But if y'all math is real good, how many people is that total? Can somebody put a number in the chat? Who's paying attention to my coaching? If Troy's got a duplex and both sides is a 4-bed, 3-bath with the 2-person per model, how many people can Troy take from homeless to hopeful? Can I get 5 people to answer that in the chat? That'll just make me feel good that you guys are listening and you understand the coaching. If Troy has a duplex and both sides of that duplex, Joanne, is a 4-3, Miss Mary, Neonta, Rita, Ken, Tiffany, how many people can he take from homeless to hopeful if he wanted to? And Rita got it right because Rita said 16 people. Some of y'all, watch this. I'm gonna get, thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Tashandra. Watch this. Because some of y'all don't do the math to understand it. Some of y'all can quit y'all job with that one place. Lord have mercy. Tashandra, I'm gonna say that one more time because I don't think they heard me. Some of y'all, because of what you make at your job, you only need a place like that. You only need that one house. You only need that one 5-bed, 3-bath, that 6-bed, 3-bath, that 4-2, 3-bath. And before I move on real quick, if you new to us, everybody gets our one-on-one coaching most of the time. But for the people that say, well, I can't afford that, and I just want it the other way. 3 weeks ago, we developed a do-it-yourself version. So for under $2,500, you get everything in our coaching except me. So that's the DIY version. But back to what I was just saying, Miss Smith, most of y'all, I know me as a social worker, y'all, I was making $28,000 a year. With the place that Troy explained to me today, that 4-3 on both sides, Tashandra, I could leave my job with that one place. Can somebody do 16 people? And let's just be generous on the math. Let's just do 760. Neon, to put 760 times 16 people in your calculator. Tiffany, Neonta, Kenneth. I want a lot of people to do the math on this because this is what will make a lot of y'all see how we take people from homeless to hopeful, and you can quit your job doing this. And this is doing God's will, y'all, not selling drugs, not mistreating people, not selling cocaine and meth, not selling Molly pills, not misleading or mistreating people, but doing God's will. Somebody put 12,160. Can I get 3 more people just to make sure the math is right? Cassandra put the same thing. Can I get 3 more people? Tiffany put the same number. Tiffany, you can't tell me some people can't quit their job on that. Tiffany, I wasn't making no money like that. And neither am I gonna ask Troy what he making. Because Troy about to get that ICC coaching, so he gonna tell me anyway. But $12,160 for doing God's will? Lord have mercy. Some of y'all going to a job every day that you hate, and you praying that God remove you from that job. Can you imagine doing something like this? Tiffany, I met you almost over 2 years ago. Tiffany, remember the day I told you, Tiffany, imagine having a job or a business to where the blessing of God was already built into it. Tiffany, do you remember that? Tiffany, this is what these new people are kind of hearing and getting now. Tiffany, they're new to this. You living it now. My new people, you're just like Tiffany Walker that's on this screen. You're just like Kenneth Klum that's on this screen. You're just like what's this here? Neonta St. Ford. Tashandra, you just like Tiffany. You just like Katara from South Carolina. That was one day sitting here. Good to see you, Miss Tia. If that's the same Tia from Polk County. Good to see you, Tia. Like, guys, can you imagine? And I'm going to slow it down because I get excited and I'll start stuttering and I'll talk fast. But can you imagine having a business to where the blessing of God was already built into it? Because in the Bible, it says, not Derek, that the poor and the needy will always be among you. And it's up to us to take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow. And guys, we're doing it through real estate. And on that do-it-yourself version, if you can't make the event, right, get it to do-it-yourself version. But just like I told you guys yesterday and on Saturday, any premium thing that's purchased from us, we're going to just give you the event anyway. So if you purchase that DIY product, we'll see you in June. If you purchase our ICC product, I'll see you in June. If you purchase our one-on-one coaching, I'll see you in June. Complimentary. Don't even worry about the ticket. I'll pay for it. But again, to my new people, this is an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. Neon, to answer your question, what time does the June event start on that Friday? Share, tell me if I'm wrong, but registration starts at, I think it's at 8:45 or 9 a.m. And we'll go all the way through 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. So it'll be a whole day event. And Share, chime in if I'm wrong about the time.
Yes, that's correct, Derek. That's correct.
Yep. And somebody asked, will we be discussing creating leases and documents needed for the ILF? Yes, we will. But inside of that coaching, I give it to you. Right. So I'm not sure if you're new to us, but we got some stuff that where that's involved in our coaching. Right. So, but absolutely, we're going to talk about that because I'm bringing the people. So for years, I just kind of talked about it me. What does the social worker say? And what does the case manager say? How about the real estate agent? How we involve the wholesale guy and the tax lien and tax deed guy? No more of that. I'm bringing them to you all this time. And that's why I'm excited, right? Because not just me running my big mouth, because I know this part, but I'm going to bring the pieces to the puzzle so that you guys can put it together. Okay. M. Balside, if I'm saying that right. Did I answer your question? If I did, let me know. Tashandra, you got any questions for me? I think you may be new to us too. Miss Tia, good to see you. You and I spoke today. So again, guys, we thrive off of questions. So if you guys got any questions, let us know. But I also want to answer that question that I did today on the Facebook and Instagram. We've been getting a lot of that this week. So if you missed my social media today, I simply just talked about how we do not do keys. So I don't believe in giving my clients keys to the front door. Did anybody see that? Or even better, if you did not, just type the word no. That's even better versus saying yes, who's seen it? Type the word no if you did not see that video of me today on Instagram, Facebook, talking about why we do not give our clients keys. Give me one person that just says no, and I'm going to go right into that because I want to make sure that you guys understand that. But again, we want people to visit ilfconference.com. That's another question. Dummy me, I keep talking about it, but I ain't gave y'all the website yet. ilfconference.com. ilfconference.com. So Tia said no. Tashandra said no. Perfect. I love it. Troy said no. And me and Troy even spoke today. So perfect. This is a great learning lesson for everybody. And this is just me freely just giving the game away to also make this easier for you guys, right? I've been through so many bumps and bruises of this business, y'all, that like there isn't almost, I don't think there's any mistakes that you can make in this thing, in this business that I've never heard of, seen, or dealt with, or done. So I found out many years ago, guys, that giving these clients that we serve keys is a big mistake, right? So we serve clients that just sometimes just may not be, as responsible, But guess what? Y'all can lose y'all keys too. Raise your hand if you lost your keys one time in your lifetime. In fact, put a number 1 in the chat if you've lost your keys at least one time in your life. I'm going to be the first person. Be honest, Neonta. All right, Joanne, be honest. Be honest, Ken. If you've lost your keys in your life at least one time, put a number 1 in the chat. Let's have fun with that one, right? So I found out many years ago that instead of giving my clients keys and always having to make keys, to Chandra, you should have seen me at home, at Lowe's and Home Depot every week, at Walmart making keys because somebody losing their keys. To Chandra, you should have seen me waking up out of my sleep at 2:30 in the morning, letting Carlos in the house because he lost his keys. 1:30 in the morning, Joanne. 2:30 in the morning. I'll never forget, man. I had a guy that worked at Universal Studios, y'all. Hard-working young man. Love this guy. But 3 days a week, he would either lose the key or lock himself out the house. And y'all, I'm trying to help this young man get his life together because y'all, he came to me with no job, no nothing really. Now he on his feet, he got a job, but y'all, he locking himself out 3 days a week. So guess who waking up? And dummy me, I didn't think of it really fast. I was like, so it took a while to say, man, you know what? Let's get some digital door locks. Duh. And then as time went along, we got the digital door lock that actually has the Wi-Fi enabled built into it. So that means that if I'm out of state, out of city, out of country, I can be in the I can be in, I don't know, Jamaica on vacation. And if I need to let somebody in or lock the door, I can do that remotely, guys. And again, I can give my clients or door code a 3-digit or 4-digit PIN that they remember, part of their birthday or something, that there is no keys to lose. And let's just say if Jose get locked out the house, Miss J, and if he call me or call Jess or my emergency number, guys, it's easier to wake up and say, all right, buddy, I'll open the door. Boop, boop, boop. Zzz, door opens. Versus me having to get up at 2:30 in the morning, Janine, and driving 35 minutes to the ILF to let this guy in the house. So I even put a link in the chat to show you guys which one we use. We love that Quickset Halo. It's called Quickset Halo. Quickset is kind of the brand or the company. Halo is the unit, like which one, because there's different models. We like the Quickset Halo. And if you follow my social media, Shay maybe even put it in the chat tonight, but I literally put it in the chat. And watch this. I went in so far to give you guys both of them. One is called the older generation. One is called the new generation. The older generation, I'll admit, is my favorite because it's got buttons on it. The new generation is more of a touch screen. And I'll admit, for my older clients who are also not that techie, Miss Smith, they don't do well with the touch screen. So every one of my ILFs that you guys see that I show y'all all the time, they all have digital door locks. We also went as far, here's another gem, that when we do our private rooms, meaning not these 2 people per room, right? When I do the private room, we've also done digital door locks on their rooms. Here's another gem. If you decide to go co-ed and you house men and women, I suggest you get a door lock for the women's room to give them an added little bit of safety. Just my opinion. Okay. Now, private rooms again for me, I give them a digital door lock, and it's not the same as these. Those are different. And again, Shay may put it in there. I'll put it in our chat for the IMB people in you guys' group. If you want it, let us know or something. I'll text it to you. But everything that we're using, people have been asking us this for a long time too, and we finally did it. So between Shay, and I'm gonna give Shay probably 90%, probably 95% credit on this, and the VA, but they literally, guys, they made a book, a digital book of every product that we use, everything from what bug spray we use to what comforter set that we may buy. Everything for the ILF, we made a digital book of it, and we're going to be sharing that with you guys moving forward. But back to the original point, we do not give these clients keys because they will lose them. We do digital door locks, and that way everybody get their own code. And if you're real smart, you'll get the one that's Wi-Fi enabled. So that way you're not trying to, per se, having to be in Bluetooth range in order to do things from your phone. We do it, get the ones that are Wi-Fi enabled. That way, no matter where you are, guys, you can let people in, you can lock the door, you can unlock the door. And what I really like too, you can give your vendors their own code number. So let's just say the AC guy comes by. He can get his own code and you can expire his code in like 2 hours, 45 minutes, 1 day. When the AC guy comes by, the pest control guy, the case manager comes by, everybody can get their own separate code. And the app that it goes to, that's where your security is, because it tells you who comes in, who's going out, what time. So all of that stuff. And then also, guys, if you combine that with your camera system, which we also tell you which one to buy, that's how you can make your ILF actually more safe. So when you're advertising this ILF to other people, this is not some building that we have. This is a secure ILF that's a clean, safe, affordable living environment for adults that are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? I'm super excited because June 21st and 22nd is the 2024 ILF conference. That's right. We're super excited because it's in Orlando, Florida this year. So, guys, if you ever thought about starting your own housing program, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the event for you. If you're a real estate investor and you're looking for a better way to serve people and actually make more money and also have a bigger impact in your community, this event is exactly what this is. 2024, the ILF conference, guys, is going to show you how we take people from homeless to hopeful and it not be a group home or an assisted living facility. We're going to teach you guys how we start unlicensed group homes, which we've trademarked independent living facility. And again, you guys are going to visit forstonconsultants.com for more information, but you're definitely going to visit ilfconference.com to get the information for the June event. There'll be a general admission ticket. We got some VIP tickets and we have 15 elite tickets for people that want a little bit extra just versus being at the event. That comes with also a one-day mastermind and a lot of other stuff. But definitely go and check out ilfconference.com for more information. And don't meet me there, beat me there. All right, good stuff, good stuff. So I literally just text in the ILF Mastery Blueprint Telegram group, you guys' VIP group. I text you guys the link to that door lock. And again, it's called the Quick Set Halo, Wi-Fi enabled. So again, I'm gonna go back to the questions. I think we had a few questions in the chat. I want to make sure I answer that. Let me see. Any questions from any of my new, and thank y'all for participating with that number one too. A lot of you guys have lost y'all keys before. So after explaining that, can you guys now understand again why we do that? Does that make sense to everybody in terms of why we do that, why we don't give keys, and why digital door lock is good? So give me the yes or a thumbs up and we can move on from that. Yeah, just give me some thumbs up or the word yes. And again, big shout out to Miss Tia. We spoke today. She's excited about the ICC. Big shout out to Chandra. Looks like you've been following us from the Clubhouse days. So thank you so much to Chandra. We appreciate that. M Balside, hopefully I'm saying that right. Tiffany, good to always see you here. Your family, Mary, good to see you guys. Ken and Rita, thank y'all for being here. Angela, good to see you as always. Neonta, thank you for being here. We appreciate that. Katara, you and your family, thank y'all so much. You and your husband, thank you guys so much. We appreciate that. Janine, thank you so much for being here. Joanne, good to see you too, sis. Always good to see Joanne and Miss J here. Let me see. Any questions from anybody while I'm here? I'm usually here for about 90 minutes or so. Also, big shout out to, let me see, right at around 7 o'clock, I should have about another 15 family members from the Minson family. So Minson. So the Minson family should be joining us in about 10 minutes. They have about 15 people that have some questions that they want me to ask. And they are all going to come together. So they had a church meeting before this. They're joining us at 7 p.m. So I'm going to dive into their stuff. But I don't think I see any questions in the chat just yet. So that means I'm going to run my big mouth about some other stuff here too. So y'all give me a second. I'm going to pull up a slide right here real quick. I want to answer this question even before they come because I'll actually go over it and they're actually going to watch the replay of it too. So I want to show you guys a little bit of my team that actually makes it come together. And I want to just show Jess real quick. they ask this question, they'll see the replay, and I'll also maybe repeat this when they come back. But because, guys, I'm so busy with trying to save the world with my coaching and housing people, we hire a team of virtual assistants to help us with a lot of what we do. So if you're new to us and you never heard us kind of use or hear us how we use virtual assistants, VAs or virtual assistants, guys, are remote workers that usually work in a different country, a different time zone, and they work for a dollar amount that you couldn't imagine, right? So my staff, guys, and if you want a VA, these VAs start at $5 an hour, right? So that's the cheat code to life and business, for somebody to be able to help you, and it only costs you $5 an hour, right? Now, where they live at, $5 an hour for them is a lot of money. And where we live at, $5 an hour is very affordable to get our business or our dream that God has put on our heart or in our brain off our brain onto paper and pencil and onto a computer and onto the world. Because a lot of you guys have ideas to start stuff. And that's why the whole slogan for that event in June, guys, is from idea to implementation. Because again, a lot of people have the idea to get into something like this, but they have no clue how to put it together. So again, just really quick, and I'll skip by Tara, but Tara's my executive administrator, right? Tara is over all my staff. She's over all the VAs. She's over all the businesses, and she's over all my ideas that come in this big old head of mine. So God has made me a thought leader, right? God downloads a lot of ideas to me, a lot of plans and schemes, but I'll admit I can't put half of that stuff together. But these VAs, guys, who come with a bachelor or a master's degree from an accredited college, for $5 an hour, they make me look like a genius. And that's what I try to teach other people, right? How do you take somebody else's skill set to do something you have no clue how to do? So every one of my VAs have a specific skill set that we've started a business from. Tara built VA 101. So the company where we vet, train, and endorse virtual assistants now all over the world, guys, Tara built that business. I thought of it, Tara built it. Jess is my program manager at Second Chance Housing. God and I built Second Chance Housing over back in 6-7 years ago. But 14 months ago, I trained Jess to be me. I say, Jess, I'm going to train you to be just like me. I'm going to train you to talk like me, to respond like me, to talk to people and treat people like me. Because Jess, I'm busy. And Jess, I pray to be so busy that I don't even have time to answer the phone calls. That's what I want you for, Jess. I said, Jess, I'm also not good at like social media. I'm also not good at writing emails and responding to people. So Jess now, guys, serves as me in the community. But Jess lives in the Philippines, guys. Right now, where I live at is 6:54 p.m. Where Jess lives at, guys, is 6:54 a.m. So when Jess reports to us for work to fill these beds right here, guys, Jess is working the graveyard shift where she lives at. Jess clocks in at 9 a.m. for my program at Second Chance Housing. She turns on the phone lines, the social media, all that stuff at 9 a.m. Guys, it's 9 p.m. where she lives at. She's putting her kids to sleep by the time her shift starts. So again, this is how that I'm able to be the hero in my community and meet the needs of people, because Jess is also holding down the fort when it comes to the techie stuff, the administrative stuff, and all of the things that I'm not good at. Just like most of y'all. Most of y'all are just like me. You're not very techie. You're very busy. You don't have time. You got a full-time job. You got a spouse. You got kids. So, guys, I get it. I understand. You guys are busy. But I always tell people this: who are you not to do the thing that God has put on your heart? Who cares how busy you are? God told you to house the homeless and the displaced. God told you to start that business. God told you to write that book. God told you to create that curriculum. Your problem is you don't have time to do it. And again, this is what the virtual assistants are good at, guys. Because again, many years ago, I used to write my own ebooks. I used to create my own courses. Guys, I don't do that stuff now. I'm too busy, and neither was I really that good at it. So we hire virtual assistants that can do all of these things for us. I started a marketing company because I knew Alex. Alex lives in Nigeria. He's a whiz when it comes to development and website creation. Danish is a developer. So a lot of the ideas that I have, I can't put that stuff together. But if I say, Deanie, let's have a meeting today at 10 o'clock, because this is my idea about this. I want this. I want this. I want it to do this. And I want it to look like this. Guys, I can't do any of that stuff. But what if I can hire somebody at $5 an hour that can do everything that I have no clue how to do? That's what virtual assistants can do for you guys. So at www.va101.co, not .com, but www.va101.co, that's where we get all of our VAs from. And again, at $5 an hour, that's the cheat code of your life and your business. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? Are you somebody that needs some help in your life or your business? Are you somebody that has a lot of ideas, but you can't quite get them out? You probably need a virtual assistant, guys. And again, at $5 an hour, that's an absolute cheat code for you, your life, your family, and your business. Because oftentimes these virtual assistants, guys, can do a lot of what we can't. And they often come with a bachelor or a master's degree. So when it comes to the educational side of it, guys, these VAs are, again, the cheat code to everything that you're probably looking for. Most of you guys have a full-time job, so it's hard to kind of implement a lot of the ideas that God has given you or the ideas that are in your heart. You should be visiting va101.co to get a virtual assistant that can help you in your life and your business and get some of these ideas out of your brain onto paper and then to implementation. One more time, visit va101.co, not .com, but va101.co, and get a virtual assistant, guys, for $5 an hour. It's the cheat code, and it'll be the best decision that you ever made. I promise. All right, let's get back to it. So I'm gonna jump back into the chat. I just want to show you guys really quick who kind of helps make us look like geniuses. So besides God Almighty, right? The software systems are using digital flow solutions, the VAs. Those are the three things that really make all of this work, man. No matter what we get into, we always gonna keep God first. We're always going to have virtual assistants, and we're always going to use a great software system, which is we use digitalflowsolutions.net, right? And that's going to kind of just blow everything out of the water that we're trying to do. So I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. I'm gonna make sure that I answer these questions. What is one feature of a house or operating procedure or statement that we can share that makes sense, that makes a caseworker feel secure and making more referrals? I'm gonna read that one more time, and I'm gonna put it on the screen so that everybody can see it. And he's saying, what is one feature of a house or operating procedure or statement that we can share that makes a case manager feel secure and making more referrals? One thing that I like to tell people, Troy, is that the proof of concept is hard to ignore. So, Troy, let's imagine you was a social worker right now. Can you imagine if I invited you to come walk through this place of what you're looking at right now? That's the way that I view that, big bro. So, proof of concept, I want to show them. Most people are so embarrassed by what their program in their house looks like, they never want to invite the social worker. So social workers are always amazed, Troy, when we tell them, hey, come out, let's do an open house. In fact, we have an open house. Share, tell me if I'm missing it, but we have an open house, I think, in about 3 or 4 days with about 25 different social workers. Troy, I don't have to open my mouth, bro. The moment they pull up to the property and see how beautiful it is, and when they walk in it and they smell it, they look at it, they feel it, they touch it, they walk through it. So it's hard to ignore, bro, the proof of concept. So one thing for me, that's a gym. I love open houses. And this doesn't always mean for the public. This means for social workers, case managers, social service providers. And the fact, Troy, that under our teaching, roaches and rats will not be running through that place. So right there alone, you're going to stand above the rest. I say this often, and I'm going to say this real slow to make sure that everybody catches this. So many people try to do this model the wrong way, that when you get into it and you do it the right way, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb, but it's going to be in a good way. I'm going to say that one more time. So many people try to get into this, Troy, and do it the wrong way, that when you get into it and do it the right way under what I'm going to call the Forston Consultants model, which is what it looks like on this screen, bro, we become a no-brainer. So that's what I'm going to tell you is like presenting it. And also the fact that you're also going to get our paperwork, Troy, I'm going to go even further, right? Because you're going to get our paperwork with that ICC program that you're enrolling in that we're only taking 10 people for. I can't tell you how many times social workers and case managers have been so impressed By we're just not renting rooms to people, that is actually program based. You said in your question, what would make them feel more secure and make it more referrals? Bro, when you present that handbook, Troy, they can be like, wow, man, this guy got a handbook. This guy ain't just rent rooms to people. Like, he really mean this. This guy got structure. He's got rules 1 through 10, and he still got a rule book. Troy, you don't know it yet because you ain't got the paperwork, but page number 6, bro, is your rules 1 through 10 highlighted in bold writing. And I'm going to just, for the sake of time, your name is Troy Steed. I'm going to say to live at TS Solutions, you must live by what's on page number 6, Troy. Because that rule book that we give you, big bro, it's going to have rules in the page 1 through probably like 1 through 35, I think. But page 6 is so important because that's what can get them kicked out of here, or excuse me, discharged from your program. So you presenting that rule book, you presenting the way it looks after our teaching and coaching of the way it's supposed to look, smell, and feel. That's what's going to make them feel secure, bro. Because everybody else that goes to them, Troy, man, they got rats, they got roaches. They don't want to show it. And it isn't a program based. It's just some guy renting rooms. Now watch this. I am not against people just renting rooms. Let's get that out front. You better not leave here and say, well, Derek said that you can't do this if you don't do it under a program. You get it how you get it. I love God, I love people, and I love real estate. If you say, Dick, I just want to rent rooms, man, I don't want no rules, Derek. I don't want no program base. That's on you. That can turn into a circus, though. That's why we don't do this from a standpoint of just renting rooms. Troy, I want you to have structure, bro. I want you to grow this thing past that 1 duplex. I want you to have 35 duplexes. But if we just move in anybody, Troy, and we don't do an assessment and there are no rules, we're going to be running a clown show, Troy. And Troy asked me how I know, because I did it, bro. Because if you don't know my story, it's something most of y'all do, but nobody would teach me this. I had to learn it the hard way, y'all. And that wasn't fun. So one more time, Troy, I'm going to wrap that up on you. The way that you present it, the way it looks, smells, and feels, because Troy, it's hard to ignore the proof of concept. That's why I want you to invite them to it. And last but not least, when you show them that you're not just some guy named Troy Steed renting rooms, but you're TS Solutions and you're saving lives in the community through shared housing, Lord have mercy. See how that's different, Troy? Troy, see how you're different? Because in Troy, in one light, I can say, man, Troy just some guy that just rent rooms. TS Solutions is saving lives in the community through their shared housing. Put a number 3 in the chat if that sounds good. See the difference in that? Katara, I never wanted you to be some lady that's renting rooms. I wanted you to be 311 Solutions, and you're saving lives in the community through your independent living facilities. Put a number 3 in the chat if that makes sense to you, how we present this. Okay? I love that question. That was actually a great question. Let me get that other one that I saw here too. Clean, safe, structured environment. That's it, Katara. And see how Katara knows the lingo and the language, Troy? That's because Katara been around us a long time now. She's family. So she already know how it should present. Okay? M. Balsa said, yes, I'm newish. Good stuff. So if you have any questions, you let us know. And if I'm butchering that name of how you got it, I'm sorry. You just let me know. Because it might be MB outside. Who knows? But thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, if you're new to us, text the word new to 407-326-0086. And we got a free gift for you just to say thank you for being here. And also just to show our appreciation, again, for you being here and also to extend your learning curve with us. Let's take a word from David and Dennis in terms of who you should be housing, and we'll be right back. Here's David and Dennis. So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great, is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forston Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook to let people know who we are, what we do, But probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them that we're available.
Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro?
David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forston Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I join the Forston crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening. But where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem. All right, let's jump back into it. So again, thank y'all so much for being here. Again, I appreciate it. You guys could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. And I just want to say thank you for that. So again, back to that June event, somebody asked again, that is a Friday and a Saturday. So go ahead and just kind of consider that as a vacation, right? Again, June 21st, June 22nd, that's in Orlando, Florida, steps away from Universal Studios. So again, book your tickets, go to ilfconference.com. That's again, ilfconference.com, and we are looking forward to showing you guys how you take this idea from idea to implementation. Means how do you do it? How do you put it all together? And again, some of the things that we'll make sure that we cover is what is an ILF. Even though most people know what it is, some people still are tripping over the fact that we can do this and not need a license. So I'm going to bring all the ways and show you all the ways of why this is possible. And lucky for you all, this is not just me talking from some concept of idea. Guys, I do this, right? In fact, if you get the VIP ticket or the elite, we're taking you on an ILF tour of one of our personal RAND ILFs, and you will also have resident interaction. So what I'm also excited about is explain to people what an ILF is not. It's not an assisted living facility, and it's not a traditional group home, right? Both of those to a certain extent have a little bit of stigma attached to it, and we don't want that. We just want to be known as a shared living environment, co-living, or my favorite, ILF, independent living facility. And guys, we've trademarked that. So we literally took the time. It took us 19 months to do it, but we've trademarked independent living facility. Hence the reason why this is the 2024 ILF conference. So again, don't forget, guys, ilfconference.com. Don't meet me there, beat me there. And like we always used to tell people, right? And my brother was real big on this too. Dreams don't work unless you do, right? I'm going to say that one more time. Dreams don't work unless you do. And don't forget what we believe at Forston Consultants, what procrastination is. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something that he's already told you to act on. So don't be caught in that procrastination phase, right? Because that's how a lot of people can miss their blessing. A lot of you guys are praying for money and your finances to get better. Remember what I told you guys last week, right? When you pray for money, God gives you an ideal or he gives you a relationship. One more time. When you pray for money, God don't rain money from heaven, guys. He gives you an idea to implement, or he gives you a relationship to put you around people to give you an idea or help you develop an idea that he's already put in your heart. Most of you, if you're in this room already, God has already told you you should be doing something like this. It don't take me to say it. My part is to teach you how to do it. So remember the relationship part I just told you about 18 seconds ago? I'm the relationship, right? So when you pray for money, when you pray for your life's change, when you pray for generation wealth, when you pray to quit your job, that's why you met me. Remember I told you earlier also that this whole basketball team and we play this thing as a team, This is a team again, guys, but on this team, God is the point guard. God is control of it all. I'm kind of that other guard or the center or the forward. My job is to teach you this thing. And again, a lot of the people that I'm bringing to this conference, guys, they are going to also tell you how they went from starting from zero to where they are now. Most of y'all know Frankie and Jay, right? Who we taught this to many years ago. They now have multiple businesses just like us. Because just like us, when we started this ILF, God blessed and blew on everything else that we tried to do. So we truly believe, man, because of what this ILF does and who it serves, God really honors that. So every other thing that we put our hands to, God just blessed it, you all. So imagine starting something like an ILF and every other idea in your mind that you want to start, it succeeds and it's a success because of the first original business. So we truly believe in that. We're also going to develop and talk about the two biggest myths in this. We talk about this a lot here. It's just the difference is that at the event, I'm going to bring you the pieces to the puzzle. The two biggest myths. In fact, let's have fun with it, right? What do you think are the two biggest myths in terms of what we teach and how we do it? Go ahead and let's get some interaction, right? I'm going to tell you, but I still want you guys to type in the chat, about 10 of you all, right? Type what do you think the two biggest myths is about what we teach and what we do. And maybe we'll take a small commercial break and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I finally did what you guys been asking me to do for probably about 2 or 3 years now. We get a lot of questions from people that says, Derek, do you just sell the paperwork? Derek, do you have a do-it-yourself version? And guys, I'll admit, we've never had that. We truly believe in the one-on-one coaching, but the more that we listen to you all as our customers and as our family, my job is to do what you guys need, which is a lot of people have been asking for the do-it-yourself version of the ILF Mastery Blueprint. So guys, we've done that. So for only $2,497, we've created a version of the ILF Mastery Blueprint where you can actually do it at your own pace. And again, everything's involved except for me being the one-on-one coach. So again, one more time, we want to offer to you guys a do-it-yourself version of the ILF Mastery Blueprint. And you guys can visit forstonconsultants.com/IMBDIY. And that's for people that says, Derek, I just want the paperwork. And Derek, I don't need your one-on-one coaching. I want to do this at my own self-pace. And guys, we've listened. So we've developed the ILF Mastery Blueprint do-it-yourself version. And again, for only under $2,500, that's a no-brainer. And that is something that you want. You guys can either visit the website or simply just text my team DIY to the phone number 407-326-0086. One more time, you can text the word DIY to 407-326-0086, and we'll get you the information that you need to be able to move forward so that you can do it at your own pace. Have a great day, and we'll see you at the top. All right, so let's do it. So let's check the chat, see if you guys put anything in the chat. So what's the biggest two misconceptions? And I'll just kind of give you two right off the bat. And we talk about them here a lot, right? The first two biggest misconceptions about this model of housing people that you have to own the property and that you must have a license. And both of those are just simply not true, right? That's also what stopped me in the beginning, right? That will slow most people's progress down. So again, the fact that you don't have to own the property, and I tell people all the time, that was the biggest cheat code for me. As a social worker making $28,000 a year, like, like how was I going to buy a house, right? So I was really thrown off by that. But when I found out, when I saw a lady making $41,000 a month doing this, y'all, but she was housing people with rats and roaches and filth and squalor. The beds were on the ground, like dishes were all over the place. There were no trash cans, so trash went on the floor. So that kind of stuff, guys, like that just blew my mind. So again, you don't have to own the property and you don't need a license. And I'll admit the part about not needing a license, one part of that is good, but one part is not good for people that don't have a good heart to do this. And that's why we're building an association that one day the ILF will be respected just like the ALF is respected today. So the assisted living facility, the ILF one day will be respected the exact same way because we're going to build an association because we only want great people to get into this and not just be money driven, but be more heart driven. Because if you're more heart driven, the money just follows it, right? And that's our true prayer and ministry, that money follows ministry. Money also follows mastery, guys. And we've mastered the art of housing people. And again, with the independent living facility model where you don't need a license, you don't have to buy the property, that breaks down a lot of barriers for people that thought that the only way that they could get in it if they bought a house with a sprinkler system and if they actually got a license to do it. So both of those are just simply not true, and we love to dispel those two myths. So Angela said the first myth that she want to throw out is that this is easy. Absolutely not. In fact, we got a whole slide that says while rewarding, this is not easy. Right? So in fact, when we used to give that slide, that was actually Otis's slide. If I can find it, I'm gonna bring it up actually. In the middle of difficult lies opportunity. Let me see if I can find that. We used to quote that a lot. While rewarding, it's not easy. And this is actually a little bit of what we saw. So if you're new to us, right? My whole story was I saw a lady house people in this kind of conditions, right? Mattresses on the floor, no sheets, no pillow, no pillowcase, no comforter, squalor and just needles everywhere, pills over the floor, smelt bad, roaches running in and out of the like crazy stuff, guys. So again, this is not what you're supposed to offer, and unsafe, improper combinations, unsanitary. That is not at all how we do this, guys. So anyway, back to that comment. While rewarding, this is not easy. But when I tell people the hardest thing about this model is actually getting it up and running. Once you got it up and running, because for most people, the hardest part about getting into this is getting the real estate to put them in, whether that's if you're going to buy it, rent it, or lease it. Most people, once they figure the hurdle out how to get in it, game's over. Because if you follow the rest of the coaching, the clients are going to come, right? It's just that fine line between are clients coming fast enough? Am I getting great clients or crummy clients? Because you can get bad clients real fast. Sometimes it takes a while to get good clients. Like tomorrow, I got a social worker blowing me up right now that want to talk right now, actually. But I said, I'm sorry, I'm just not available right now at the moment, but we can discuss your 3 clients tomorrow. She's got 3 clients. I'm hoping one of them there at least fits, but you got to view it that, guys, everybody that calls your phone or being referred to you may not be a great client. So again, at this event in June, guys, I'm going to break down what is a resident recruitment? What is that? Where we get them from? What's the conversation sound like? Who do we approach? Who are we asking? Who do we ask for? What verbiage and lingual are we supposed to use? Okay. A lot of that's going down June 21st, guys, and June 22nd. Another thing that we'll go super deep on at that event, especially in that mastermind for the people that are getting that elite ticket, what is resident management? Because watch this, out of everything you've heard me talk about, guess what this program is really about? Managing people. You can call it ILF. You can call it co-sharing. You can call it co-living. You can call it shared living. Guess what this is really at the end of the day? You guys are being a manager of people. Okay? I'm going to say that again really slowly. You guys, when you get into this, Kenneth, Katara, Miss Rita, Janine, you're going to be a manager of people. Resident management. How do we recruit these people? How do we keep them? Every one of you guys that have a phone bill or a internet bill or some kind of subscription that if you try to cancel or close it, there's a whole department that's called resident. No, excuse me. It's called customer retention. Guys, we have the same thing in what we do. How do I keep these clients once I get them? Do I just keep collecting rent every month and just keep housing them with no interaction? No, there's a way to recruit these clients and there's a way to keep them. And really, to be honest with you, inside of that, that's all just called resident management. This is where the rocket science comes in at. You guys see me all the time talking about this isn't rocket science. This isn't rocket science. Setting it up, getting the funnel system, meeting the social workers, easy. Resident management, Miss Angela, this is when the game is really on. Ask Miss Rita and Mr. Ken. Well, I've been telling them for the last couple of days. They just got their first house. They got their first set of keys not even 5 days ago. But guess what my message to them has been other than congratulations? Guys, game on now. Guys, this is when the game starts. Resident management. And will most of you all know this from the beginning? Not really. Even with all of my coaching, all of my teaching, guess who's going to be the best teacher of all of this, Kenneth? Kenneth's probably saying, you, Derek. Kenneth, not really. Your clients are going to be the best teachers you've ever had because they're all different personalities. But what you'll do, if you're really smart, especially with the coaching, you're going to learn these behaviors. You'll start seeing patterns. My job is to show you these patterns so that you see it next time. So when you're interviewing Jerome or Tyrone or Hector or Jose or Raphael, you know what to look for. You know what to listen for because you already been through it with Jonathan. But again, if you're not coached and trained this, and if you're not around it, it's hard to pick up on it, Katara. So sometimes you learn some of and most of this stuff by being in it. No difference from investing in real estate. I was in a real estate room on Sunday morning, and the gist of that room was this lady who was just amazing. Everybody, big shout out to Miss Tammy. She actually may be in here, but she's moving at the speed of instruction. And all of the things that she's going to learn while she's trying to learn to wholesale and get into real estate. Guys, I was more excited about her learning the process and going through it than the deal she actually may get. Because I understand that the way that Miss Tammy is going to learn it is by being in it. And luckily for her, she was in the right place at the right time and the spirit was moving. I said, you know what? You get a free VA on us. Because you calling people, you cold calling people, and you're doing the thing that most people are afraid of. So we blessed her with an absolutely free complimentary virtual assistant. So Miss Tammy, if you're here, big shout out to you. Another myth that Mr. Ken put is that you can do this by yourself. Ooh, I love that. And Ken, even though it's possible, because I teach a lot of people that say, I'm by myself. Joanne does this by herself. Okay. I can name probably a few more people if I try real hard. Tiffany is, I'm going to say, probably the 90th percentile of running her ILF. She's got family, got a dad, got a brother, got family involved in it. But Tiffany's probably 90 to 95% of that. And these are women, right? So for the guy that says, wait a minute, Derek, women are doing this by themselves? Absolutely. In fact, I teach way more women this than I do men. Where are my men at, by the way? We need more men doing this, especially more Black men anyway, doing this the right way. Okay? But I teach way more women this smarter than I've ever taught men. Women have a natural heart to help people, right? And it's usually the woman that drags the husband in. Okay? But yeah, Rita just put it in the chat. The game starts now. Like all of that coaching in the beginning and getting the house and making it pretty and putting the plug-ins in the wall to smell good and buying the comforters and the sheets. That's the fun, easy part. The game starts when you got the house, the water's running, the lights is running, the gas is running, depending on where you live at. And you start getting these calls now for Jose and Michael and Raphael and Billy and George and Donna and Glenda and Luis. All of these people that God has already put before your path before you ever got started. And that's what some of y'all need to hear. God has already got a set line of people that's waiting on you to get started. Somebody's prayer is going to be answered the day that you get started. Rita, you don't even know, but somebody's been praying for Lewis and that other guy. And because you're connected, Rita and Ken, you guys are going to be housing those guys. I'm going to say that again one more time, really slowly. Somebody's blessing is connected to you. Some of y'all need to start. My brother Otis used to always say this, and if you're new to us, you don't know this, but my brother and I taught this together for years. My brother passed away this past November. Very fresh to us still. This to be the first conference that we'll have without my brother Otis. And in fact, my brother used to say it all the time. It's people that are waiting on you. Their blessing is tied to you. It's people praying every night. God, can you give me a safe place to live? God, I don't mind a shared living environment. God, I want to be off the street. God, I'm tired of sleeping behind this dumpster. God, I'm tired of doing the couch surfing thing. God, can you send me a nice place to live? Rita, you don't think you and Ken are a part of somebody's prayer to that 4-bed, 2-bath home that you just got that you can house 8 people in? Rita, before the foundation of this earth was ever unveiled, God already had those people lined up for you to house. Some of y'all are delaying these people from being housed, though, because you're waiting. Guys, don't wait. Don't hold up somebody else's blessing. God also don't want you on your job all your life. Your job is what they train you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Does that make sense, everybody? That job that you work from 9 to 5, that's what you were trained to do, guys. What is your work? Your real work is what you was born to do. And some of y'all were born to house the homeless, born to help the displaced. And you always wanted to be involved in real estate anyway. That's why I think God is just so genius how he allowed me to get into it, because God knew I love real estate. I always wanted to be involved in it. I never knew how I was going to get in it, though. The moment somebody told me that I can go and rent a place, Lord have mercy, game over now. And that's what started all of this. Who want to know how to generate the income? That June event, again, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about how you make the money doing this. Right? People usually love this part of the slideshow, how to generate the money. Where do the people come from? How do they get the money if they're homeless, Derek? That's all of the things that we're going to be talking about. And for the lady that says, Derek, I want to come to your event. Oh my God, but I can't make it. How can I get your coaching without being at the event? No problem. Our one-on-one coaching has been existing before these events. So our one-on-one coaching, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. We also have the do-it-yourself version of the ILF Mastery Blueprint. That's very new, actually. That came out about 3 weeks ago. So instead of that 15 grand or the 7,500, the do-it-yourself, guys, is only $24.97. So it's under 2,500 bucks. You get a virtual assistant, all the coaching, all the teaching, a bunch of videos of me giving the game away. And we build your website. So my digital marketing company, we build your website and you come to the June event complimentary. So every premium thing that we're selling right now, we're throwing your June event ticket in it, because there's a lot of people that want to bless people with their June ticket because they can't come. Prime example. Well, I ain't gonna shout her out yet because I'm gonna let her choose who the ticket goes to. But I'll give her initials, Miss EM. Thank you so much. She purchased the do-it-yourself version just the other day. She can't come to the event. She's gonna gift her ticket to somebody else because we're allowing that. So y'all need to be friends with her. But anyway, yeah, guys, and also, man, just don't procrastinate. A lot of you guys have been doing that for a long time. I'm guilty of it at times as well. I'm not the guy or the preacher that says, you. Guys, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking, I also was there, right? I used to procrastinate, but thank God for a great wife, a great mom, a great family, a great brother who pushed me, right? But again, how to generate income, guys, again, is not really rocket science. We take a single person. I'm going to take a 4-bed, 2-bath home. That's 8 people. And depending on where you live at, that can be anywhere from $500 per month or $900 per month for a shared room. And the math that I did, just simply, I gave you guys 8 beds times 6 people. That's $4,800. No matter where you live at, most of the time, excluding my California people, my Oregon people, my New York people, where it's really crazy expensive at with rents, most of the time, because of this housing model and the amount of people that we're housing, the math is always going to make sense, guys. Okay, with the exception of certain cities and certain states, guys, there's not a lot of places where I'm going to go get a 4-bed, 2-bath home and I'm charging people again. Everybody pays rent, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, a big shout out to the family that joined us at 7 o'clock too. I almost forgot about you guys, but I'm answering your questions anyway. So big shout out to you guys for being here. But this is one of your questions. How do you make the money? They're homeless. Yeah, they are, but they get a guaranteed income called SSI or SSDI. So if you've never seen our original webinar, make sure you check that out over at forstonconsultants.com/webinars. And watch both of those webinars, actually, right? So there's one that's called the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency. And that teaches you how to do what we do, but you never have to own the property, rent the property, or lease the property. You use a relationship with people that already have the property. And you make a referral fee. Prime example, Miss Rita gonna owe me a referral fee. Right, Ken? Ken and Rita, hopefully, if these 2 guys that I have that I want to refer to Rita, Rita's gonna owe, well, actually, she owes Jess a referral fee. But that's how that works, ladies and gentlemen. So that means that if I get a phone call and I can't house this guy or this lady, or I'm full to capacity, or they don't meet my criteria, or I just want to be a nice guy. And I say, hey, Katara, I got this great guy. And I know that you house military veterans over the age of 50. And this guy is 62 years old, and he is great, Katara. But he want to relocate to South Carolina where you live at. Katara, do you have a bed available? Katara gonna say, yep, sure do. I'm gonna say, Katara, can you interview Mr. George? And if he's a good fit and it works out, Katara, don't forget now, my fee is only $300 one time. So Katara, when he move in and pay you rent, just send me my $300, please. That's what an HRA is, guys. I gave y'all kind of the ghetto version of that, but that's essentially what the HRA is. I get the phone call. I can't house the person. I call somebody else. If they house the person and if they get paid, meaning the person moves in and pays rent, I just want my one-time referral fee. And watch this, because people still get lost on this. Watch this. The example that I just told you about Reed and Ken. If I send Reed and Ken, these two guys, Reed and Ken owe me one time for that referral. These two guys will probably live there for 5 years. Lewis probably will never leave, because Lewis is one of my guys that I originally housed from day one. Some of y'all know Lewis because you've seen pictures of it. Lewis will never leave Rita. Does that make sense, everybody, that Rita will collect rent for years from this guy, but she pays me one time for sending the referral? If you're lost on that, just put I'm lost. But this is the way that most of you all are going to be able to get into the HRA and the housing the homeless without ever needing property. It's genius, guys. Again, it allows you to house folks by leveraging somebody else's property. Remember, you don't need the property. Check it out and we'll be right back. If you've ever had a dream to house the homeless or the displaced or to start your own housing program, but the barrier for you was actually getting the real estate to do it in, we got something that's almost even better for you. And it's called the HRA, Business in a Box. The HRA allows you to be a housing referral agency to where you still can house the homeless and the displaced and start a housing program, but it doesn't require the real estate. You don't have to buy it, lease it, or rent it. You're going to leverage other people that actually have the real estate and then make a referral fee. So we want to give you more information about that. We have a 14-minute free webinar that breaks the HRA down. So no more an excuse of not having the house to do it or not being able to buy or rent or lease a house. Because if God is putting your heart to start this program, start it. So step number 1, get an LLC and brand it, right? Step number 2, start getting the word out about who you are and what you do and that you offer housing. And again, after watching the HRA webinar, consider the HRA Business in a Box, because in that will be everything that you need to start your own housing program, and you never actually need the property. We're going to teach you how to leverage other people to still make your dreams come true. So the HRA Business in a Box is only $19.97. Check it out. Also bring your questions here to YouTube so that we can answer it for you. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you catch us at. But don't forget, the HRA stands for Housing Referral Agency, and you don't need the property to still make an impact in your community. Let's do it. Let's do it. So again, for anybody that wants to do what we do, you want to house the homeless. God told you to be involved in it. We said, dear, I can't buy no house. Dear, I can't rent one either. Well, do you have a cell phone, internet connection, and the willingness to tell people that you offer housing? That's all it takes. So watch that 14-minute webinar and consider the HRA Business in a Box, right? But any other questions or concerns? It's actually, I'm 4 minutes over my time. So I just want to make sure that I answer all questions. And again, I appreciate you guys again, because at that June event, man, this is where we're going to be teaching you guys again, how do you take it from idea to implementation? No more of just having an idea of it and then talking to your family about it, and then they shoot your dreams down talking about you need a license. The devil is a liar. You've met us now. So we're family, and we're going to show you guys how to do this and how it's possible, right? And again, these are the forms of payments, and we talk about this all the time. SSI, SSDI. We take working individuals. I take people that say, well, Derek, I ain't got no money, but my Uncle Joe, he rich, Derek, and he'll pay my rent every month. I got guys like that. They're independent. They don't have a dime, though. There is no SSI. They don't have SSDI, and they don't have a job. But guess what? Uncle Joe, Uncle Fred, his mom, his dad, they pay the rent, right? So that's that family support. And community-funded programs, I'll admit, that's probably my most favorite way to be paid, because the community funded programs allow me to help somebody that has no money, but the program is going to pay for it. So when you ever hear me talk about mailbox money, that's what I mean, that the client doesn't have the money, but the program they're coming from, they do, and they're going to pay me. And the goal is usually that they're going to get these people on their feet and get them approved for SSI or SSDI, or help find them a job at McDonald's, at Walmart, at McDonald's, at Sonny's Barbecue, at Burger King, at JC Penney's, right? So these are all kinds of people that we house: the individual that has a job, the guy that gets the government stipend, the guy that has his Uncle Joe pay the rent, and community funded programs, which is what we refer to as mailbox money. Can I get 5 y'all to type in mailbox money? How many of y'all would like to live a life where some of your checks come in your mailbox? Remember that whole Pentecostal movement, y'all, many years ago? People talking about pray for mailbox money. And a lot of us did that. And guys, I'll admit, that's kind of a little bit of my life now. Some of it is mailbox money. Some of it is, hey, Derek, we got your checks. Can you come today and pick them up? And a company right now, watch this. Watch how honest I am. I'm working with a company right now. Today is the 29th, y'all, and they ain't paid me yet. I got 2 checks out with this one organization. This is how late they pay. These are all the things that you got to take into consideration when you start this. Who helps guide you through this? Me, because I've already been through it. How do you pay your rent when the people paying the rent late? Huh? So we go through all of that. And that's that mailbox. Thank you, Tia and Angela. That's that mailbox money. We used to pray for that. God, send money through my mailbox. Not to a certain extent. That's kind of, a little off. But I got the concept of it. And I'm not against receiving money through my mailbox. So God, however you got it to come to me, open all avenues, right? But again, sometimes you work with these programs called Operation New Hope, care coordination. They're going to write checks because the clients that they're helping, the people that they help, they don't have no money. But the end goal is to get them a job or approved for SSI or SSDI. So even though these pictures look all great and all fancy, just like you saw that other sign, while rewarded, it is absolutely not easy. While rewarded, it's not easy. So again, our job is to kind of make it easy through you skipping all of those bumps and bruises and taking it from the idea to implementation. Okay. Yeah, Tiffany said, yep, sometimes it takes a full month to get first payment from an organization. And Tiffany, this is a place that I've been working with for a long time. But Tiffany, guess what I'm going to ask them? This is something that I would normally talk about in our coaching because Tiffany's IMB member, but I'll just give it to you guys here for free. Tiffany, I'm going to ask them now because Tiffany, this particular program, they'll pay for up to 3 months. So now, Tiffany, my verbiage to them is this. And I'm going to try to say this in a real tactful, nice way, Tiffany, but guys, you guys make it difficult for me to continue to pay my lights and my water and my cable and Wi-Fi at the rental property where I'm housing your people when you pay me late. So if we can't do 3 months up front in advance, this is over with probably. Or Tiffany, we got to balance how many people that I have from you in this house. I can't have 8 of my guys from this one program, Tiffany, and everybody's late on payment. So Tiffany, how do you balance? How many people do I take from this program? Because I got to be able to pay the rent, Tiffany. Because Tiffany, as soon as the lights go out or the water stop running, they're going to think I'm a bad guy. This guy ain't paying the rent. He collecting all his money and ain't paying the rent. Well, Tiffany, you didn't pay the check. So Tiffany, now, if we can't get that check 3 months in advance, and don't tell me you can't do it, Tiffany, because I've seen it. Don't let them lie, Tiffany, because they can do it, especially if they're desperate. So my new spiel, hey, guys, and I already told one case, man, I said, sir, man, I said, y'all, he called me the other day. Derek, got another one for you. I said, buddy, I'm going to be real with you, man. I said, I got 2 beds available. I said, but right now, sir, you ain't paid me for the other 2. Can you imagine how hard it is for me to stay in business and do things the right way when you guys are not paying? And as soon as the lights go out or something ain't paid and the client call, you're going to think I'm a bad guy. So I say, hey, I know you ain't the boss, but tell your boss, man, that if we can't do 3 months in advance, or Tiffany, at least 2 months, Tiffany, that we can't do this. And y'all got to wait till I get another house and balance it out with other people that pay rent weekly or every month on time, Tiffany. I can't take everybody from this one company if the checks don't come until the 19th and the 29th. Did y'all just hear what I said? Can y'all imagine, Tiffany, if I paid my landlord on the 29th? Can't do it, Tiffany. So if they don't understand that, they can't send me no more clients. That's over with. Or they got to wait until I get another house and balance it out. Okay. Miss MB outside says, I live in Miami and I've seen bunk bed models for ILF. What are your thoughts? I love that question. This was actually in my old webinar. Watch me word this very carefully. I am not against the bunk bed model, but I'll admit I've never done it. One more time. I am not against the bunk bed model. And watch this. I'm going to give you so much value. I'm going to tell you why I like it and why you can make other providers like it. Watch this. And this is this June talk, but I'm gonna bless y'all tonight. I like the bunk bed model because it allows me to charge a lower number in rent and help a higher number of people. Prime example. If I tell my case managers that are coming to see me just in a couple of days, there's going to be over 25 of them that want to walk through this brand new ILF, that we're no longer doing 700 per bed for the shared, but I'm now going to do 400 because we're doing bunk beds. They're going to think I'm a genius because I'm going to tell them that, hey, ma'am, you know what we've decided to do? We want to be able to help more people and we want to make it more affordable. So forget about that 700. We're going to do 400, but we have a bunk bed model now. The only difference is, ma'am, is that every time I've seen a bunk bed model, people had too many bunk beds in one room. It was raggedy. The bunk beds were not stable and it didn't look nice. The only difference is if I do it, I'm going to still make it look like what you guys have seen today. It's just going to be two beds on top of each other. So one more time, I personally am not against the bunk bed model because if you think about it, watch this. In this room right here that you're looking at, imagine me charging 700 and 700. I'm going to put it back on just two beds to make this real plain so that nobody gets mixed up. Watch this. Can everybody see this screen? Just two of y'all just put yes in the chat. Watch this. For me, both of those beds in Orlando where I am, that has the potential to be at minimum at 700 and 700. If you're good at math, that's $1,400. But watch this. What if I do bunk beds and I do 500 per bed? 5,555 is 2,000. I make more money and I'm helping more people. What if you lower it to 450 or 400? 400 times the 4 guys is still 1,600. 7 and 7, like I told you before, is 14. You still make more money. So this is why you can do the bunk bed model and they think you're genius. Because if you word it the right way, which we will teach you, I'll just give it to you now. Mr. Social Worker, we found a way to help more of your people and make it more cost affordable. Instead of doing the $700 per bed, we're going to do bunk beds now. And we're now going to only charge $400 per bed, $450 or $500 per bed. And if you run it the right way, because that's the other gem to it, you can't let this run amok. This can't be a clown show. You got to run it the same way if it was only 2 people in this room. That's why Forston Consultants will teach you how to do the assessment to make sure you're getting the right people. Because the way that you can turn this into a clown show is put 4 people in this room who don't match with each other, who don't get along, who don't even really want to be there with each other. That's going to be a clown show. Now imagine every room you got those 4 people in it. So that's why we don't teach it, because a lot of people, again, remember what I told you 17 minutes ago about managing people? A lot of people don't have that down yet. So even if I were to teach somebody or push somebody to the bunk bed model, I want to see you probably have 2 of these of just the 2 people per room, 2 full houses of that before you go to the bunk bed model to prove you can manage people. Does that make sense, everybody?
Derek, can I share something?
Sure. But I don't want you to get a 4-bed, 2-bath home, and every one of those rooms you think you're going to do bunk beds in. You're going to be running a clown show. Right? So I'm going to let Shay hop in. And if you're new, Shay, you will hear her voice. She's from the Angela Denise Foundation, my wife, but you won't see her face. Miss Shay, go ahead.
So I wanted to share with that because I think this is you made a very crucial point with when you said, not turning all of your rooms into this model. And I think that's why it's so important that we when we do our lives, we specify that this is something that we've seen, we agree to, we don't disagree with it, but you've got to be very mindful of how you implement it. And by that, there are also different regulations and laws and guidelines that also fall into a slippery slope with it, with this model. Now, I'll be honest, and Derek, we can discuss this further with our private members. When it comes to this model, you tend to fall in that slippery slope of too many heartbeats per room, and this is where you can easily fall out of compliance with your city and your state. So you've got to be mindful and you've got to pay attention to not only the population you're bringing into the house and how you're setting up this model, but you also need to be mindful of how you are how you will be portrayed, right? So if you do it wrong, you will honestly feel the repercussions of it, from
People
not
gonna think you're a
just the
slumlord. Yeah.
yeah, and not even just that
Yeah.
side of it, Derek, but also from a code side too. So you've got to be very cautious on that, right? And again, like, this is information we are giving you our personal experience when we're talking about this particular model, because we do not do it. So I would say, yes, people are doing it in your city and your state and they're getting away with it, but you've got to look at the areas that it's being done in and what is making it suitable for them to get away, for it to work the way it is working in those areas. So be mindful of that. Note that this type of model will also bring about a different quality of resident as well, right? So it's a lot of things that you've got to take into perspective when you look at this particular model. Derek stated it very well earlier that it's not something that we're totally against, but I'm gonna be honest, for me, I don't like it because it gives a misconception of what you're doing in the event of uh um just any type of altercation or situation that arises at the home. You can, you can, it's just a slippery slope. So again,
Yeah.
people do it, they get away with it. It just, again, I say, keep your eyes open, go check out some of these facilities that are being operated with this model. And I can guarantee you that it will put a nasty taste in your mouth, because the likelihood or there's probably a high probability of it looking like what you think it looks like mentally, right? And that's not nice. So just be mindful of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, my advice is that even if you went with a bunk bed model, that shouldn't be your first model that you jump to. Because I agree with what Shay said, is how people are going to perceive it. Because I'll admit, if I start one right now, because I've been in it so long and people know how we do it, people know our hearts, people know our model. They're like, oh man, Derek's just wow. It'll be just like what I told you. Like, wow, Derek's a genius. Derek is helping us out even more, y'all. He helping more of our people, and he's lowered the cost. But you that nobody don't know today, they're like, man, she's greedy. She's stacking all these people together. And the thing about it, ma'am, you may have a great heart, but because they don't know you yet, they'll frame you with something that really don't fit you. And guess who else they did like that in the beginning? Me. So, guys, I've been through it all, man. I've been on the Channel 8 News, the Channel 9 News, $30,000 lawsuits. Because, guys, again, when I first tried to get into this, nobody would help me. There was no Derek. There was nobody raising their hands and say, Derek, I'll teach you how to do this. Like, that didn't exist. So I made a lot of mistakes. I got in a lot of trouble. But when God and I ironed it all out, my job now is to go all over the world, just pouring it all over the place, showing people that it's possible. So again, if you don't know me and my life and my wife and my family, our life is made up like this, right? We go through a lot of bumps and bruises of things, usually business, right? And then we turn around, and once God and I iron it all out, our job is to come back and teach it to people so that you guys don't make the same mistake we did, right? So again, I was just a poor social worker making $28,000 a year. And God just happened to show me a lady, man, that was making 41 grand a month, y'all. But she was housing these people in rats and roaches and in filth and in squalor. So again, at this June event that I'm just super excited about, man, we're going to show you guys how to connect with social workers, case managers, substance abuse people, where you getting your leads from, how do you cold call these people, what do you say, right? They want to know, like, these people want you to approach them the right way, guys. So that this event, our job is to equip you with invaluable information. And remember, I'm bringing the social workers, I'm bringing the case managers so that they can tell you how to present it. They can explain why they need it. They can explain why they ain't worrying about your licensed facility. They're never going to ask you about a license. Nobody's ever asked me that. Okay. So again, book it. ILFconference.com. That general admission ticket is $397. That's a one-day event with all the greatest food that you can stand, all the networking, all the camaraderie, and all the knowledge and understanding of how to, from the idea to implementation. The VIP ticket, we're going to take you a little bit further. We're going to take you on the ILF tour, where it's client interaction. You get a swag bag. You're going to meet and greet all the speakers to get a more of a personal conversation with them and much more. And then again, the elite ticket, you get everything in the first two packages, plus that exclusive dinner Saturday night. You also get a mastermind one-day event with me on a separate day on a virtual event. So I'm going to give you guys a master class of just more game of maybe what you thought you didn't get or more clarification on. We're going to give you guys a one-day master class that's separate from this event. And these are all the tickets and all the ways to get into it. And if just by chance you can't make our event, which will break my heart, definitely consider our one-on-one coaching. Definitely consider the do-it-yourself version of it. Also consider the HRA, the Housing Referral Agency model, the business in a box, right? But also consider the ICC, which I haven't talked about much tonight because we're only taking 10 people for the ICC. So if you're new to us and you never heard us talk about the ICC is something that we came up with about a week ago, actually. Very new. We're only taking 10 people. And this is not something that'll be an ongoing thing. This will be a one-time thing. I'm doing some research and development on this new product. So essentially, you guys get the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Instead of the 15 grand or the 7,500, it's only $2,700. So I'm letting you guys get that for $2,700. The June event is included into it. So big shout out to Miss Tia, who's going to get hers. She's going to get the ICC. She's coming to the June event complimentary, but she wanted to upgrade her ticket. So we upgraded her to elite. So big shout out to Miss Tia for upgrading. Hopefully you're able to bring your son and your husband. And don't forget, the easiest selling point for your husband, say, babe, he letting you come for free. You don't pay nothing. So don't forget that, guys, the elite ticket, you can bring your spouse for free. And if you want to upgrade, you just let me or my team know, and we'll take care of that. But again, this is a Friday and a Saturday in June. It's going to be hot outside. So take a vacation, go to the water parks afterwards, before all of that stuff. Enjoy yourself. Vacation, come and renew your mind, renew your spirit, and learn a skill set that can change your life, that can change the trajectory of your life, right? Your children's children and all of that stuff. Because this is not just some business, guys. It's a true ministry that can live and should live beyond you. So when you all start something like this should not just end with you. This is something that should be built upon. And your children's children should be running this well after you're gone. So again, that ICC, guys, essentially for $2,700, you get the ILF Mastery Blueprint, one-on-one coaching, group coaching. The June event comes complimentary. The virtual assistant, we build your website for you for free. All of that comes, guys, for only $2,700, and we're taking only 10 people for that one. That lasts for 6 months, and it starts May 1st. Okay, so if you want to be a part of that, text the word ICC to 407-326-0086. One more time, if you want to be a part of the ICC, text the word ICC to 407-326-0086, and my team will send you some information for you to be able to get on that waiting list. Again, only 10 people, starts May 1st, and I'm looking forward to that because I'm excited that, again, you guys get the cheat code on the price and the different structure in which in the way that I'm going to do it. And again, just for in case if you missed the original explanation of it, this is essentially, guys, something that I'm going to build that when it's done, it's going to be probably an $8,000 product. But you guys get it at the development price for only $2,700. And again, all of the stuff that comes with it is not going to even be the same once I finish it. But I specifically want to take 10 people for an experiment And then somebody out of those 10 people, I'm going to pay your first month's rent or your first month's mortgage when you get your first ILF. So that's also a part of it. That's kind of a little bit of a raffle. But whoever that I'm going to judge on certain criteria out of those 10 people, somebody's going to get their first month's rent or mortgage. If you buy the place, I'm going to pay the first month's rent for your ILF. So that's the ICC. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back to close things out. Hey, what's going on, family? I got a special offer, and this is only for 10 people. So you've heard me talk about the ILF Mastery Blueprint before, right? We have something now that's called the ICC, the ILF Cohort Collective. And this is where I'm going to take a special group of 10 people. And this is a one-time thing, right? So if this is something you want, make sure you act on it. But we're taking a small group of 10 people. And instead of paying the 15 grand or the 7,500 for the ILF Mastery Blueprint one-on-one coaching, we're literally giving it to you guys for only $2,700. It's going to be a 6-month program. Your June event on the 21st, that's actually involved in it. So your complimentary ticket to the June event, we give it to you. And there's a lot of things that we're going to add to this program. And again, guys, I'm only taking 10 people. So if you want more information about this or to be added to the waiting list, because this starts May 1st, text the word ICC to 407-326-0086. And again, guys, essentially, you're going to be able to get the ILF Mastery Blueprint, the one-on-one coaching for only $2,700. And I'm super excited that this is a special group. And again, this is a one-time offer. So if you want to take part of this, or if you want more information and to be added to the wait list, again, text ICC to 407-326-0086. And we look forward to talking to you about it. All right. All right. So again, man, thank y'all so much. I super appreciate you guys. You guys that are always here. Thank y'all for being just faithful to what we're doing in this move when it comes to housing and the displaced and just being a part of real estate that changes the lives of people. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate that. We're super excited that a lot of you all will probably be a part of that committee once we build it. Because remember, guys, we tell you that the way the ALF, the assisted living facility, is respected today, ILF will be the same way in just a matter of time, because we're going to build an association around it. So just like people told me that I was crazy years ago when I said, we're going to start a housing program and we're going to house people with no license, no doctors, and we're not going to own the property. Y'all, people thought I was crazy. But just to show you got a great idea and God is behind it, right? And as long as you pleasing God, helping people, guys, it's hard to lose like that. So again, I always tell people, man, what we live by, you guys can also steal it or borrow it as well. But we live by this, right? We want to please God. We want to help people. We want to be respected by our community. And we want to make a bunch of money doing it because we want to build the kingdom of God. Because God said that if you build the kingdom, focus on the kingdom, put all your efforts on the kingdom, all of these things, God, that you want to be added unto you. So, guys, again, I'm not afraid to say that last part. A lot of people are afraid to say that. Guys, I want to make a bunch of money doing this. Because again, I'm not the guy that want to go out and just spend money frivolously. I want to continue to help people because remember, I told you guys, money follows ministry. So we're in something that you don't have to beg for it. You don't have to cheat for it. You don't have to mistreat people. Just do this the right way. Money follows ministry and money follows mastery. No matter. And watch this for all my religious folks. Even people that don't love God and that live a sinful life, they live by certain principles, y'all, that they still gonna make money. And a lot of it is just moving at the speed of instruction, not being afraid, taking chances, and they don't call it, but just moving in faith, just believing that it's gonna happen. So how much should that happen for us believers that we do believe in God? Again, guys, but I want to please God. I want to help people. I want my community to respect me while I'm doing it. And guys, I want to make enough money to also feed my family. That's what we live by. Type yes in the chat if that fits you. If you and your family can live by a model like that, type yes in the chat. I'm going to be the first one. Because, Tiffany, some people scared to say that they want to make a bunch of money. I'm not afraid of that. You guys, you know why? Because I'm not the guy that says, well, I'm going to go buy 10 Mercedes Benzes. I'm going to go buy 8 mansions. Tiffany, if I keep making money, I'm just keep buying houses and keep housing people because guess what that essentially does? It's going to feed my family anyway. Tiffany, if you do the right thing and please God, help people and allow your community to respect you, and if you focus on the kingdom, man, it's hard to lose in life like that, guys. Do I have everything that I want in life? No. Am I rich and famous and got all of this materialistic stuff that most people think that if you have it, you're doing good in life? No. But guys, I want to please God. I want to help people. I want to be respected by my community. And I want to make enough money to feed my family. I want to make a bunch of money to build the kingdom of God and expand the kingdom. You know how many churches need this model? You know how many ministries need this model? You know how many smaller churches where the tithe and offering is not coming in that great? And this could save a church. This could save a community. Because all the needs come to the community anyway. Think about it. How many times have you heard in your church, Sister so-and-so might be homeless, y'all. She needs some help. Guys, believe it or not, man, the need is right there in your city. It's right in front of your eyes, and we're trying to give you the key to it. We're trying to give you the know-how to be able to do it, because my love is to see you quit your job to do this. Or, excuse me, resign. We don't like to use the word quit because we're not quitters, but my love, my want to is to see you guys resign from a job to do this full time and do what God has really called you guys to do. Okay, so ilfconference.com. We'll see you guys in June. Bring a friend, share it. Hopefully we'll have that affiliate thing up and running. I think it's up. So if you want an affiliate link in terms of just to share it for that other people can also be a part of it, let us know. But share this with your family, your friends, your business partners, your pastor, your bishop. Share this with somebody in your church this week. Say, man, I met these guys, man. They housing people. They're doing God's will. And girl, you don't even got to buy the property. That's how you should be telling everybody about this. Because everybody thinks you got to go out and buy the property. Tell people that you met this bald black guy. They love God. They love people. They love real estate, girl. And he teaches us how to do this without buying the property. We got to go check him out in Orlando in June. The general ticket is only $397. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying this information. But just in case if you was wondering, how could you get more one-on-one coaching just like this? First of all, you can ask just by typing it in the chat, or you can visit forstonconsultants.com/IMB. Again, the IMB stands for ILF Mastery Blueprint. So again, if you want one-on-one coaching, let us know. This is exactly what we do. And again, don't spend all your time in this room today without asking questions. As you see, we're giving out a lot of great information. So make sure you ask your questions just to make sure that you fully understand it. And then also don't forget, we give you guys a free strategy call. So we want you to watch our webinar. That's it. Also at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, but also soak up a lot of this information that we're giving you guys on YouTube, and then schedule a free strategy call so that we can get on the phone to talk about how fast can we get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Rita says, I have to assess a potential client. So look at how this works, right? Rita just got her keys 5 days ago, y'all. Right? And look at what time it is. So don't think you're going to be working a 9-to-5 job doing this, right? Because the need for housing can happen at 8 o'clock at night, 6:30 in the evening, or 5:30 in the morning. So read a big shout out to you guys, man, for answering that need, right? Don't be on here if somebody needs your help. Absolutely go and assess that client, right? And how does Rita know how to assess that person? She's getting the coaching. She know what to ask. She know what to look for. She know what to listen for. Sometimes it's not as important in terms of what to ask, but what are you listening for? It took a while to learn that, y'all, right? So again, for all my people that consider yourselves as great listeners, that skill will be very beneficial to you doing this. Okay, so that's right, Tiffany. This will not be banker hours per se. You guys are going to get calls that are called emergency placement, emergency phone calls after hours. Like prime example, like since I've been on this call with you all tonight, one social worker has called me 4 times already. Even after I told her that I'm not available, we'll speak tomorrow, she still called me. Something's important, but I'm sorry, but right now I'm actually working. Now she's going to leave me a message, and she still said they're safe, they're not being discharged, or else I would have left too, actually. And Derek, yes, you can talk to me tomorrow about these guys, no problem. But if she says, Derek, this is an emergency, they're going on the street, unless I talk to you. I say, hey, y'all, Shay, take over. Because my assistant, Jess, is off at 5 o'clock. Jess does work bank hours, Tiffany. But guess who fills in after that? Me. Guess who's got an emergency phone line now, Tiffany? Me. Tiffany, I got a cell phone that I don't really use. That's become now an emergency phone line after hours, Tiffany. I ain't told y'all about that yet, but I'm kind of doing that now. So, and I'm letting people understand that this phone is not really being monitored, but you're more than welcome to call it, text it, and we'll get back to you at the appropriate time. But that's an emergency line. Okay, so that's a little small gem. But anyway, man, again, thank y'all so much. My time is up here. In fact, I'm about 36 minutes over, but I want to say thank y'all for letting me go over, and thank y'all for allowing me to explain and talk to you all about the June event. I so want to see each and every one of you all at the June event. And I'm gonna just say thank you to the people that already purchased. We understand as running events, a lot of people will purchase the last week, the 2 weeks before time. But I just want to say thank you to all of the early people that are moving at the speed of instruction. We appreciate that. It also shows your seriousness. But for people that are still thinking about it, take your time, pray about it, get the proper permission from upstairs, right? But we look forward to seeing each and every one of you June 21st. I would love it if you guys get that VIP ticket or that elite ticket, but we made sure that we made a general admission ticket as well, because we want everybody to get the game of it. So whatever ticket you get, you still gonna get over 6, 7, 8 hours of just straight game, no fluff. And what I'm excited about this year is not just me running my big mouth. I'm bringing all the pieces to the puzzle that literally allows this to happen. So I'm excited about that. And again, if you're new to us and you never watched our original webinar, that's the first step to actually getting started. So if you've never, or you're just new to us, make sure you watch the original webinar from the beginning. I'm gonna probably post it in the chat, but if not, forstonconsultants.com/webinars with an S. Watch both of them. One is the HRA, right? And one is the one that you're going to be the ILF operator. Actually watch both of them so that you don't miss anything in that, and that you can get started from day one. Because years ago, when I first was teaching this, you had to have a house to make this work and to do it. Today, you don't. All you need now is a cell phone. Because to be an HRA, a housing referral agency, you need a cell phone, an internet connection, and the willingness to talk to people and build relationships. Last break, and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show. And for the family that joined us at 7 p.m., thank y'all so much for joining as well. I appreciate you all's questions. And you text me and said that I answered everything that you guys had except one thing. Derek, what does it look like? So I showed a lot of the inside stuff. I haven't showed the outside. So literally, guys, it could be a 1 bed, 1 bath, 2 bed, 1 bath, 3 bed, 2 bath, 4 bed, 2 bath. Doesn't really matter, guys, right? So we just want to make sure you understand that in this model, I prefer you not share a wall. I prefer it not be a townhouse or a duplex or a quadplex if you don't own the whole thing. We learned over 42 minutes ago that Mr. Troy, who's in Atlanta, he's going to do this with the duplex. Both sides are a 4 bed, 3 bath. We discovered that if he want to house 16 people, he can do that. We discovered that if he want to house 8 individuals in private rooms, he can do that. And depending on what his overhead is and his mortgage, that's probably what I would suggest. But we'll talk deeper in that when he takes the coaching. He's actually going to be an ICC member. Good to see you too, Miss Ramona. Just saw you in here. She said that she'll see us at the June event. Miss Ramona's also, I think, going to be a part of that ICC group, where again, the June event comes complimentary. So I don't even think Troy knew that. I saw your response in the chat. Troy was like, oh, snap. So yeah, Troy, if you didn't know that, big bro, and if you're married, your spouse comes for free, right? So again, that's what I'm excited about. But anyway, this is what it looks like. This is a 3 bed, 2 bath. This is one of my early on ILFs, right? That was in that cul-de-sac. I love this picture because people say, well, Derek, can I do this in a mobile home? If you go to my personal page at Derek Forston on Facebook, you guys can see a rehab project that we did on a mobile home that was complete dirt, complete garbage. We brought it back to 2024 standards. So definitely befriend me at Derek Forston on Facebook. Go be nosy and look at the rehab projects that we also do. So God has blessed us to join forces with another, like a rehab company. And I now offer rehab, right? And I'm going to talk to my IMB members about that and how I do that and give you guys an idea of it. But essentially, I'm leveraging the gentleman that done all the rehab to my ILF, and we do work together now. So I now promote a lot of the work that's being done. Calls are coming in. So I'm kind of playing the liaison in the middle. So we'll talk about how that works and how that's a whole business model. So, guys, it's no different from the HRA, no different from the Uber model, no different from the Airbnb model where you're leveraging somebody else's skill set to get something done. Does that make sense, Tiffany, Katara, Angela? Does that make sense, Rita, everybody? So I'm going to talk probably more about that to you guys in private. But essentially, just like we do the HRA, that's what I'm doing on the rehab side now. So I want you guys to go over to Derek Forston. Also check out Second Chance Housing at Facebook and Instagram and look at some of the rehab work that we're doing, both commercial as well as residential. Okay. So that's exciting. That's a new opportunity for us. So I'm excited about that. And just one more example, to that family that joined at 7. Here's a nice big one, right? So this is kind of what we talk about, that if you get one of these, a lot of you guys can quit your job if you got one of these. Okay. Sometimes people don't know the numbers, but when you got a 6 or a 7 bedroom home, guys, some people, depending on what you do for a living, you can quit your job with one of these. Okay. And not to be all crazy about it, but the numbers are like this. Let's just say there's 7 beds in this house, right? 7 bedrooms, which they are. You can do 7 private rooms for $800 a piece. Somebody put the math in the chat on that. If I got 7 bedrooms in here, and I'm being conservative and saying $800 for a private room, 8 people times that 700, I believe is $5,600. Tiffany will tell me if I'm wrong about that. But let's make sure, no, Derek, that ain't enough, Derek. I want to help more people. I want to make a bigger impact and a bigger income. No problem. Let's double it up then. So now we're talking 14 people. And the master bedroom is so large, Katara, we're probably going to put an extra bed in there as well. Now we're talking 15 people that will be homeless on the street without you. 15 times that 800 now. Somebody put that in the chat. And notice, right, we don't even talk about numbers a lot. Somebody should be saying, man, you know what? He don't talk about the math that much. We don't, because you don't have to. Money follows ministry. It's known that if I get a big house like this and I put 2 people per room and everybody pay rent, the number's going to get crazy in a good way. And the love about this, guys, is what I love, because if you know me, I love a win-win situation. I win because I can help multiple people and make multiple sets of income. But the other side of it is that the guy and the gal that I'm housing, he can't afford to go and get his own apartment. He can't afford to go and get his own house. His credit ain't all the way together. He don't have the double deposit. He don't make 3 times the monthly rental rate. He can't pass a background check. See why we're needed, guys? So again, it can be a small house. It can be a little house. And this is my favorite, 4 bed, 2 bath, where I can take 8 people from homeless to hopeful. Angela put $12,000 right there. And that's what I mean, guys. A lot of us don't make 12 grand a month. Not saying that the 12 grand goes in my pocket after my expenses and all of that stuff. But I guarantee you, once we take away the expensive, most of us, I know I didn't make that kind of money per month. I dreamed of it. And then when God showed me a lady that was making 41 grand a month, housing people in rats and roaches, I said, God, why not me? And here we are 7 years later. Okay. So just to give you guys that example, that's what the houses can look like. It can be as small as a 1-1. It can be as large as an 8-5. Doesn't matter to us. And the inside is going to look like this. And again, this is called shared housing, co-living, or what we've trademarked as independent living facilities. And again, that's where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I advise and implore you to go and visit ilfconference.com. Share it with somebody. Also, watch that webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars. And again, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m., where we usually talk about virtual assistants and the greatest software system in the world, which is Digital Flow Solutions. But if you're an ICC member or you're a IMB member, we build your website for you. So you don't even have to worry about it, but we're going to teach you how to use it. So again, I want to pray you guys out of here. I pray God's best for your life and your family and your business. And then we'll see you guys again back in this room tomorrow at 6 p.m. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown tonight. Thank you for the ability to give, God, what you just gave me. Father God, tonight I ask that you would move with these people. Father God, I ask that you would put your hand upon their ministry and their housing program before they ever get the keys to it. And Father God, I pray that right now that you've already set aside the people that need this housing. And Father God, allow for these people to connect the housing to the people. Allow them to move at the speed of instruction. And God, never allow the devil to interfere with what you already called them to do. The devil is under their feet and has no place in their life, their business, or their family. Again, the devil is a liar and he is under y'all feet. And Father God, from the top of these people's head to the soles of their feet, they are healed, delivered, and set free. Because God, it's hard to do your will without an able body and the mind of Christ. So God, give these people the mind of Christ and an able body right now in the name of Jesus. They're all healed and delivered and they're set free. And they will do what you've called them to do. There is no devil in hell that can stop it. So Father God, bring about every resource, bring about every relationship, and Father God, bring about the finances. Father God, allow their finances to run them down, so that there is not an excuse to why they can't get into this. So, Father God, again, we remove every barrier, we remove every hindrance, and remove everything that will stop the hand of God from moving in their lives. God, you are God, and you are God alone. You don't need no help, God, but you choose to partner with us, and we appreciate that. So, Father God, allow us to use real estate to help your people. So, Father God, release real estate to us now. Release the resource, because God, you are the ultimate source. Thank you for allowing us to be a resource. God, we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And God, will be ever so careful to thank you. In fact, we thank you now, because we call these things that be not as though they were. So, Father God, these people are already successful. They already have a house. They've already built relationships. You've already put social workers in their life and uh in their sphere. Father God, I thank you for great influence. I thank you for great relationships. God, keep everybody away from them that is not a part of your plan. But God, bring about the right people and the right relationship to make this dream that you've put in their heart come to pass. Father God, again, we'll be ever so careful to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. You guys be great. And we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Be great. Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. Consider our ILF Mastery Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show. Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forston Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forston Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forston Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA. And you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information. So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forston Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them that we're available.
Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro?
David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forston Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I join the Forston crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening. But where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem.